All of our upbringings emphasize the importance of playing it safe, avoiding controversy, and blending in as much as possible. One of our innate tendencies as human beings is to go along with the crowd. But why do we, as a group, identify so strongly with the villains in blockbuster Hollywood films? Somehow, even though we know better, we can't help but want that the bad person will come out on top. Almost from the time we are toddlers, we are bombarded with messages from society telling us to be passive, to not stand out too much, and to avoid conflict at all costs. And this is what we're drilled into us from the time we're little. And while at school, we attempted to play the role of the angelic, selfless hero. We made an effort to play the hero. Another example might be the nice guy who goes out of his way to make everyone else happy, but never thinks twice about skipping class to spend time with the bad kid who is always breaking the rules. On the other hand, it's not just females. None of the other guys ever treated us with any kind of respect either. However, the most fearsome men were accorded respect. Men who didn't come off as kind or harmless were held in higher regard since they weren't scared to show their true colors. We made an effort to play the hero. Another example might be the nice guy who goes out of his way to make everyone else happy. This information I'm about to give you has the potential to completely alter your life. Also, you can start using it not in 10 weeks, but right now. Many of us went to the theater right after watching this video, and there on the television is a man who is, in all candor, no different from you or me. A man with similar beginnings. A good guy who learned that if he's always polite to everyone, he'll get what he wants. Is a man who began out harmless and terrified to upset people. Then though, the inevitable happened, as it does in every movie. As time went on, this once nice man began to exhibit monstrous tendencies. Take a peek at the Joker for yourself. Take Magneto, for example. He made an effort to follow the norms we're all supposed to uphold. The path where we do nothing to threaten anyone else. The path where we allow others to bully us. Magneto and similar characters would have little trouble crushing their enemies. But there is a breaking point when one has had enough. This was after seeing the murder of everyone he had ever loved. But he finally snapped and decided to transform into a monstrosity for his own good. Every one of us, and men in particular, shares a dark side that makes us feel a great connection to the villain. Every single person on Earth has the potential to commit terrible acts of evil. You already know this, and yet our species survives because we've learned to control the beast within. However, many viewers have done a poor job of keeping the wild animal in check. For some reason, we enjoy being thrilled by villains and experiencing a surge of positive emotions. And by vicariously experiencing their lives, even if only for 90 minutes at the movie theater, we get to know what it's like to be truly free, or free from all the chains that we shackle ourselves up with on a daily basis. What we don't say and seize is just as important as what we do. The bad guys, on the other hand, don't have to worry about any of that because they can pretty much do whatever they want. Especially for young men growing up in today's society, many of the difficulties they face can be traced back to their lack of monstrous potential. What this shows is that it makes no difference how polite you are or how rich you are. These two billionaires couldn't even keep their spouses. This leads us to our conclusion. The message is clear. If you can't become a monster or release the beast that lurks deep inside of us, women will look the other way. The now famous YouTuber Vitaly always appears to be clothed. That shirt says what exactly? They use the word villain there. Moreover, it might be said that Vitaly exemplifies a man who went a little too far with the villain persona. However, women will never stop being fixated by the villain because the allure of being with a dangerous man is so strong that some will risk everything for the chance to be with him. Actually, it's hard to explain why people don't do it. It just feels right. While women are forever fixated with the antagonist, many male characters choose to hold him in high regard. The lack of female attraction and the lack of male respect are two of the most significant issues that modern men face. Even so, there is a single answer that will work for both of these problems. The fact that we can go outside and live a relatively peaceful life is a direct result of the fact that the world's great superpowers, the United States, China, Russia, and so on, have all demonstrated that they are capable of being monsters. For instance, the United States has shown time and time again that is not afraid to use its military to make a point, teaching other nations that they should not test America's resolve. Therefore, releasing your inner beast is the simplest solution to the two most widespread issues males confront today. Because after you've earned your monstrous reputation, women will naturally gravitate towards you and men will automatically look up to you. However, this is where the majority of males go wrong. All the bad guys in the movies are just regular dudes who got sick of being taken advantage of and decided to take matters into their own hands by becoming villains. So they let their inner beast out to play. This, however, was a major error on their part. What went wrong was losing control of the situation. The guys who wind up in jail or other dire circumstances are always the ones who couldn't learn to keep it under control. It would be counterproductive to unleash such a vast quantity of power if you couldn't keep it under control. So, mastery of self-regulation is essential. You see, one must discern the boundary between assertiveness, confidence, power, and outright wickedness. A modern-day bully is just a young man who got wasted on authority. A young man who, upon realizing his potential as a monster, went too far. He reminds me of Augustus in the Willy Wonka factory. One sip from the chocolate river, and he was hooked. You see, many men spend their entire lives being conditioned to play it safe. They are conditioned to blend in with the crowd and never question authority or question the status quo. It's because we all secretly like the villain and wish we were a little bit more like him that we can relate to him so closely in films. Each of us harbors a hidden beast deep within. In reality, most men never fully express the confident, aggressive man inside of them. Many men today are scared to take on the role of antagonist, to speak up for themselves, or to risk offending others. On the other hand, being a monster is the only way out of many of the difficulties that men now face, especially the two major ones. Once you've done this, or once the restraints are removed, learning to keep it under control is paramount. To do otherwise is to risk meeting the same fate as the Joke and the numerous other villains who became obsessed with their power and allowed it to kill them. And thus, it is time to play the bad guy, although in a benign fashion. And on that note, I'll see you then. I appreciate you all taking the time to watch.